Hello, book friends, book people, reader people. That's embarrassing. Cut that. I'm back today. I was kind of dreading this video, but also kind of am like looking forward to it a little bit. I decided that I'm going to read bad reviews on books that I have read and really loved lately. So I'm going to start with my book journal here in the month of November, and I'm going to pick my books that I rated 5 stars and go to Goodreads and look on the reviews and read some of the bad reviews and argue with the camera, talking to you, pretty much like acting like you're the person that wrote this review, and let you know how I feel about it. Anyway, I'm a little bit frightened about this, and I halfway don't really want to do this, but I thought that it would be kind of fun to do one video. So here I am. The first one I'm looking up is It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. I rated that one 5 stars, as I'm sure a lot of you did. And if you didn't, just don't talk to me. I don't know what's wrong with you. So I'm gonna go look at these really quick. So she's got 4,575 1 stars, but there's also like thousands of ratings. There's 320,000 ratings total. So that's a lot. So let's read. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, this one says, I'll be requesting a fat check from Coho for making me waste my time reading this unnecessary book. Well, first of all, it was completely not unnecessary. This was a completely necessary book. I was so excited to read this book and receive this book from this author. I'm so glad she went out of her way to write this book, pretty much, because it just gave like a happy ending to these characters that deserved a happy ending. And I totally disagree with that completely, 100% with my whole heart. Okay. Oh, okay. Haven't read, but I hate seeing Colleen Hoover fans happy. Update, it was genuinely terrible. Like, does she mean to like her thing? To like her rating? That's ridiculous. What even was that? I don't know. This feels like nothing more than a cash grab. Atlas is a bare minimum decent human being who slept with an underage girl and doesn't need to outshine the story of domestic abuse and survival like the last book portrayed. Wow. Just wow. 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 Just no. Colleen Hoover's fans literally like were begging her to write this, and then she did. She didn't like plan to do this at all. Like, it was just something she did for her fans. She literally wrote a note in the beginning of the book that I'm gonna put up on the screen so you can see it, like, to her fans about this book. Okay, so let's move on to our next book here that I rated 5 stars this month. That would be Circe. I absolutely adored Circe. I do not want to see the bad things that people have to say about this, to be honest with you. I don't know why I did this video. I really don't. I don't think that I should have done it now that I'm doing it, but I'm kind of in too deep. So anyway, she's got 8,525 1-star reviews, which I don't even understand how you could review that in a bad way. I really don't. Okay, first one. I can't. I'm sorry. I just can't with this book. Maybe it's because the author seems to channel Homer in her writing a little bit too much for me. Maybe it's because I found the story a little disorienting, as I know too much about Greek mythology. Maybe it's because I don't find the characters interesting. I honestly don't know, but I just can't do it. I'm bailing. Then bail. I'm glad you bailed. I'm glad you didn't read the book. You know why? Because you didn't deserve to read the book. You didn't deserve to have all this happiness in your life about this book. Oh, and just so you know, it is a fictional book, so it's not going to be exactly completely 100% on point with Greek mythology. It's fictional. Expand your mind a little bit. Was that too harsh? I feel like that was super harsh. I'm very protective of Circe. I love Circe. All right. That was a little harsh. I'm sorry. but like that review is really harsh. And I feel like some people should call people out for their bad reviews. So that's what I'm doing. Unpopular opinion time. Hey, at least they know it. That's great. That's a great start to this. This was pretty decent in the beginning, but after a while, I realized that absolutely nothing happened. The book just seemed so repetitive. I don't know how many times Cersei talked about gathering, planting, harvesting her herbs, or whined about being stuck on the island. She spent most of the book feeling sorry for herself. I didn't like her as a character at all. She also seemed fairly detached from everything around her. Did we even read the same book? What? There was literally so much going on in this book, like it was almost hard to keep up sometimes. I don't even get it. I don't get that one. That just, why even bother writing a review? At least they knew it was like an unpopular opinion and they wrote that first, so whatever. 134th book of 2020. I am unsure where to begin. Firstly, I respect Miller, and this 1-star rating feels horribly harsh for one of her novels. Thank you. It's going to be harsh, and you shouldn't have given it. But it is sadly the only rating I can give it that holds true to my experience. It took me twice as long to read this as it did Ulysses. Somehow, I could have read Ulysses twice in the time it took me to read this. It is a 333-page novel. It took me 2 months to read. It's actually a 393-page novel, so it's almost 400. But if that took you 2 months to read, you might want to learn how to read, maybe? I don't know, just possibly. I don't see how you didn't like it. Really? You didn't really write anything in there that you didn't like, just that it took you a long time to read it. So I'm not really understanding that review at all. Why even bother writing a review if you're gonna just write that? Doesn't really make sense. All right, well, moving on to another book that I really love this month, November. Just Like Mother. Love that one, rated that one 5 stars as well. I could see how somebody might feel differently about that book though, so I don't think I'm gonna be as protective about this one as I am all the other ones. Okay, it's only got 104 1-star reviews, but it doesn't have that. It's only got 5,000 ratings, so let's get into this one. This book was not for me. Baby making cults and doll babies. Just a no for me. All right, well, like, sweet, simple, to the point. I like that. I respect that review. I get where you're coming from. It was creepy. It was weird. If you're not into like creepy, weird, thriller, horror-ish books, you wouldn't like this book. So I could understand that. Like, there's like a very specific type of person that would like this book. And that person is me. So, hi. The ending, in quotations, the epilogue, was decent, though predictable. So it didn't save this book for me. Predictable? What about the epilogue was predictable? I was blown away by the ending of this book, and at first I had given it 4 stars, but then I thought about it and went back and had to update my rating to 5 stars because it was just that good, and it blew my mind so much that I couldn't stop thinking about it. And I have read almost 150 books in 1 year, so I would know about these things. I'm taking this like way too seriously. And I'm laughing at myself right now. Listen, if you're gonna hate on me, but I love books, okay? I'm sorry. Especially the books I rated 5 stars, and then I have to, like, this just wasn't a good idea for me to do this. Years ago, Maeve escaped from a cult led by women who all referred to themselves as mother. When the compound was raided by police, the children, all girls, were fostered out. This includes Andrea, Maeve's biological cousin, who has now found, thanks to an online DNA search company. What even is this review? Just don't even put that one in. I do not like this book one bit. I finished it, but I'm not happy about it. It's basically Rosemary's Baby meets The Wicker Man. but not even the good Wicker Man. Exactly the one with Nicolas Cage. So do with that what you will. Why do you have to be so hateful? I don't understand. It was a good book. If you didn't like the book, like, put the book down and just say you didn't like the book. You know what I mean? Why do you have to just like be so harsh? I'm gonna move on to my next book. I am really scared to read the reviews about this one because so far I'm loving this series, and if I hear any hate about this, I'm probably gonna be really sad about it. So whatever, here we go, because it's on the list. So Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban is my next one. So let's just jump into that one. Okay, there's 19,245 one-star reviews, but there's over 3 million ratings total, so that's actually not that bad. This is probably the best of the first 3 books. I totally agree with that so far. I've only read 3 books of Harry Potter, and this was the best one. I loved it. But the further you get into the series, the duller the bulk of the book becomes. Definitely highly disagree with that one. Rowling has some fun finishes to her books, but the drudgery of the build-up overwhelms the books. As before, the books are full of cliches, cartoonish characters, and kids doing bad things and getting away with them and ultimately being rewarded for them. No, no, and no. Yeah, of course it's filled with cartoon-ish characters, although I don't really agree with that saying, but like if you were to feel that way, like it's a kid's book. These books weren't really written for adults. Like it's kind of more of a kid's like young adult-ish book than I would say it's not an adult book. So you might want to read some adult books if you feel like that, you know? But also they didn't get rewarded for doing bad things. They literally like saved the whole school all the time. So then they get rewarded for that. So yeah, I don't know. We weren't reading the same book. What in the world? I'm upset. In Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Harry has to fight for his life against Black. A possible theme for the book would be sometimes life isn't fair. I think this only because Harry has to fight for his life when he has typically done nothing wrong. Harry is fighting for his life for no apparent reason. It's just not fair because Harry does not deserve such treatment. But he gets it anyway. Okay, so you rated this 1 star because you felt like Harry was getting treated unfairly. Kind of sounds like you enjoyed the book though, so I don't really understand that. It's not, who writes these? J.K. Rowling, I hope your house burns down in the next 24 hours and you're forced to live on the street. What? Real talk. If a real person ate as much candy as these kids, their feet would fall off. They don't even eat that much candy. I gave this book 1 star because I know Lindsay reads my reviews and it will drive her nuts. Well, poor Lindsay. I feel bad for her because I'm kind of upset reading this review. But overall, I like this book a little better than the previous 2, even though Rowling really likes recycling the same template over and over and over again. I thought it was completely different than the other books, and I felt like it was the best one of all of the books, and I really don't agree with that statement. Okay, so I have made it through all of the books I have read recently, and it was like kind of painful. I'm wondering if I should do October's next. Like maybe I'll do one from October. I'm kind of like really scared to read about these. I kind of want to read the reviews on I'm Glad My Mom Died because I loved that book. And I feel like if somebody gave that 1 star, like that's just horrible. I don't know how you can give someone's memoir a 1 star. Let's just see. I'm so curious. Okay, there's 440 reviews for 1 star for this. I don't even get it. Here we go. Honestly, the writing was unique. The writing style was fun. The problem is that this book took the place of a spoiled kid Misunderstanding how the real world works. I am extremely happy she has started getting help and has been doing better. Okay, what? She was not a spoiled kid. She was not spoiled at all. Her mother was a hoarder, and because she was a hoarder, she had to sleep on a yoga mat in the living room with all of her siblings and her grandparents. And she didn't have a bed the whole time she was like growing up. I don't see how that's spoiled at all. The problem is abuse does not excuse the poor and self-serving behavior she talked about in her older years. This book, to me, felt like a way to just complain and vent, and if that's the case, maybe it should not have been advertised how it was. I just do not believe that the way she worked through the plot was good or healthy. In my opinion, it shows both a lack of maturity and the truth that she is still deeply injured and is not ready to truly receive help. Okay, I'm just wondering if you have your psychiatrist degree or not. Oh yeah, and if you don't, you probably shouldn't be giving advice to people for their mental health. I'm wondering if this person even read the book, because she was definitely not complaining. She was literally just trying to tell her story as best that she could. Yeah, that's messed up. It's a messed up review. I don't appreciate that. This book looks really interesting. I haven't read it, but I'm giving it 1 star to signify it is the #1 most important book on my to-read list. What is the point of that? Well, that's about it for this video, and I really didn't enjoy it that much, so I really hope that you enjoyed it, and there was even a reason that I did this video today for you. If you didn't enjoy it, I don't know what to say. I didn't enjoy it because everyone was just hating on my favorite books. I don't know why I thought this would be a good video to make, but it's made now, so it's over with. And check out some of my new videos coming out every Friday, and go look on my Instagram and subscribe over there, and also make sure you subscribe here and hit the like buttons because I had to suffer through this whole thing. All right, well, have a good night. Bye.